should you visit the Digital Nomad Village here in Madeira. In today's video, I break down everything you need to know before deciding to come here. Hey guys, welcome back. I am traveling Tayler and I am currently at the Digital Nomad Village here in Madeira, Portugal. So hopefully this video will give you an idea of whether or not this is a good place for you to visit or not. So Madeira is actually a autonomous region of Portugal. It is an island. It's off the coast of Morocco on the Western Africa side in the Atlantic. So right off the bat, if you don't like islands, this is probably not going to be the place for you. But once you get here, so that they've decided to place the village in Ponta de Sol, which is not the capital. So the capital is actually Funchal and is the bigger city on the island. It's a bit more connected. Ponta de Sol is a very small village. So that means that you're gonna run into a lot of the same people over and over, which can be great for a community. It also means that there's just like limited restaurants and services and things about, but there's still plenty to do right here in the city. This right here is the co-working space. It is free, which is great if you're coming as a digital nomad. You're always gonna have a place to work, although can't really talk too loud, and you can only have meetings outside. You're not allowed to have meetings inside the building at all. But Madeira has great weather pretty much year-round, so that's not really that big of a problem. So some more pros about coming to the Digital Nomad Village is, one, it is like a community. That's the whole point of it, is to create this nomad village of communities. So you have the co-working space, and then if you join the Village Slack, you're gonna meet people that way. They hold different events throughout the week, so they do dance classes and fitness classes, and you can go walk the local shelter dogs. They do weekly community lunches. They organize events for the weekend, so you don't really have to try too hard to make friends or find things to do. You can also get a ride with different people who are doing different things around town. So that would say that is the #1 downside to being in Ponta de Sol. It's just how challenging it can be to actually get around. So you either have to hire a taxi or have a rental car, because there's only limited places that you can walk, and there's no buses here in Ponta de Sol. So just keep that in mind, that maybe if you don't want to use your budget for transportation that much, then maybe staying in Funchal is a better option for you. They do, in their Slack, actually have split up between Ponta de Sol and Funchal. So they kind of cater to both nomads in both locations, and they do at times have different events in either city, and they'll transfer you, like they'll take a bus back and forth. So here in Ponta de Sol, we have this thing called Purple Friday. So they would actually bus people in from Funchal who wanted to attend. So that is another option. So if you don't want to stay here and you would rather be in Funchal, just know that that is also available to you. Ponta de Sol, you really only have like a few options when it comes to shopping and restaurants and things like that. It's a very small village. So I'm actually up here right by the traffic circle right now. There is this like shopping center behind me. This is like an Italian restaurant. I'm getting some pizza right now. And there's also like shopping within it. You can actually see that there is the MEO store behind me. That's like the mobile data store. That's actually the SIM cards that we got here. And then you also have the Santander, which is the bank, like the easiest ATM to get money out of. And then if you turn around down here, you can see there's like a gas station, and right behind that is the grocery store. So that is the main shopping options you have here. And then down by where I live, which is closer to the beach, you have a few restaurants and like a little alleyway. So again, it's just a very small town. It's kind of nice. You know exactly where to go to get everything. It doesn't take long to find stuff. But those are your limited options when you're living here. good to know about Madeira before you come is that although it is a Portuguese island, almost everyone on the island speaks English, and pretty good English. So communicating, you're not really going to have any issues. And then because it is part of Europe, they also use the euro. So that's the currency you can expect to use. Cost of living here is pretty inexpensive. I do think that maybe housing can cost a bit at times, as well as renting a car. That's probably going to be one of the bigger expenses that you have, or even taking taxis. But as far as like food and drink go, it's really pretty cheap to eat. We can usually eat lunch for about €4 or €5 most days, and then dinner is about €8 to €10. So that part of it is really nice. Although be aware if you have any sort of dietary restrictions. So if you're vegan, or if you're gluten-free, or you just generally like to eat healthy in general, you're gonna struggle a little bit here. There are not a ton of vegan options in the 7 restaurants that are in Ponta do Sol, and there are not very many gluten-free options as well. So just a few more things to be aware of before you get here. Again, just look at your priorities and what you want to do. Maybe Ponta do Sol is not the place for you. Maybe Funchal is a better place for you. Either way, take a look, do a bit more research, leave any questions you have down in the comments below. I hope that you found this video somewhat helpful in deciding whether or not to visit the Digital Nomad Madeira Village. I would say overall I've really enjoyed my time here in Ponta do Sol. It is a bit small for me. I'm more of like a city person. Beach life, island life, I can only do for a short period of time, but it has been really enjoyable being here. Now also in the village, you do have the co-working space as I mentioned, but you have to find your own housing. So I've been fortunate enough that I've been here with my company, and so we were staying at the outside facility, which you stay tuned for next week's video. I will give you a full tour of outside and explain a little bit more about co-living options in Portugal. But you do need to, whether it's outside or you find an Airbnb or you stay in a hotel, that's going to be another major expense that you're going to incur coming to the Nomad Village. It is about 30 minutes from Funchal, so it's not super far, but you do, you don't want to have to be traveling back and forth, especially if you don't have a car and you're paying for a taxi, because it can get pretty expensive pretty fast. Another thing to be aware of is if you plan on doing a lot of organized tours, a lot of them leave from Funchal and they do not pick up here in Ponta do Sol. So maybe not the end of the world if you don't plan on doing a whole lot of organized tours, but it's just another something to be aware of. But in general, I've enjoyed Ponta do Sol. I kind of enjoy the smallness of it. There's about 7 restaurants, so you get to learn them pretty quickly. There is a grocery store, there is an ATM, and there is the beach right there. We can enjoy it every single day. So that is a little bit about the Nomad Village, and hopefully that gives you an idea of whether or not this is a place for you.